Hello guys, welcome back. Today we'll see the third type of queue, which is double-ended queue. First we'll see what is double-ended queue. Double-ended queue is the queue in which elements can be added or deleted from either of the ends. Okay, so elements can be added or removed from the front end as well as from the back end. Okay, but no elements can be added or deleted from the middle end. Okay, and it follows both the policy, that is the policy of the LIFO as well as the policy of the FIFO. That means it is the combination of both, that is stack as well as our queue. As you can see over here in the diagram, from the front end we can insert our data, also we can delete our data, and from the rear end we can insert our data and we can delete our data. So insertion and the deletions are done from either of the ends. Let's see the types. So there are two types of DQ. First is input restricted DQ, second is output restricted DQ. Okay, so what is input restricted DQ? Word itself suggests there is some restriction on the input, that is input can be done only at one of the ends. Okay, that means data either can be inserted at the front end or the rear end, while deletions can be done from both of the ends. Okay, next we'll see what is output restricted DQ. In output restricted DQ, deletions can be done only at one of the ends, but insertions can be done from both the ends, that is front end and rear end. Okay, as you can see over here in the image, this is output restricted DQ. Okay, so we can insert our data from the front end, we can insert our data from the rear end, but we can't delete our data from the front end. Only from the rear end deletion of the data is possible. So this is our output restricted DQ. Okay, and in this input restricted data, you can delete the data from front end and the rear end, but you can only insert the data from the front end. That means input is restricted. We'll understand this DQ program by performing these operations. Okay, actually the program is bit lengthy, and if I start explaining it step by step, it would be quite boring for you. Okay, so I don't want to bore you, so we'll just see and understand in detail by performing these operations. Okay, so first operation is insert rear end 1. We are going to insert the 1 from our rear end. Okay, but before performing all these options, we'll take a look at the two functions, which is full and is empty. As we have seen this function is full and is empty before in our circular queue and in simple queue. Okay, but the change over here is that we have made a different function for checking whether our queue is full or is empty. So let's see what is int is full. Okay, in this we are going to check the condition for full. So first condition for the full is front equals to 0 and rear equals to max minus 1. That is, our front is at 0, and after performing repeatedly insertion operations, our rear has reached the condition of max minus 1. Okay, so this condition is for our full condition. Okay, after that we have given here the OR operator. Okay, means either this condition or this condition. Okay, so next condition is our front equals to rear plus 1. Okay, so that means our front is one index location further than our rear. Okay, we have seen this earlier in the earlier videos, so I don't think that a much deep explanation is needed over here. Okay, so if this condition is true, it would return 1, else it would return 0. In is empty function, we are going to check whether front equals to minus 1. You know what is our initial condition? If front and rear both are minus 1, it tells that our queue is initially empty. We haven't added any data in our queue. So we are going to check this, and if this condition is true, return 1, else return 0. So let's begin with the operations. So first operation over here is insert rear end 1. So we are going to insert from the rear end. Okay, so first we'll see what happens in our function if we initiate this. So let's see how this function works. Okay, you know what is this item? This item is the user inputted data. okay, and we are passing this as an argument in our insert rear end function. So first we'll see is full condition. Okay, so if our queue is full, but is full condition is would be false, okay, because we haven't added any of the data. Okay, so obviously this loop is false, so it would come to the next step. It would see if front equals to -1. This is our initial condition, and yes, this is true because we haven't added any of the data in our queue till now. Okay, so what it would do, it would set front equals to 0 and rear equals to 0. So now what will happen, front and rear both would point to 0. As you can see over here, front and rear both are pointing to 0, and after that it would directly execute this statement, that is dq of front is equals to item. You know what is item? It is the user inputted data. This is the assignment operator. So user inputted data is assigned to the dq of front. What is front? Front is 0. That means on the 0th position the user inputted data is assigned, which means user inputted data is inserted on the 0th position. As you can see, 1 is inserted over here. So our next function is insert rear end 7. So now we are going to insert this 7 from our rear end. Also keep this in mind, make a note of this. Okay, our rear end inserts the data in a clockwise fashion. Okay, but it deletes the data, that is rear end deletes the data in the anti-clockwise fashion. Okay, and the same is opposite for the front. Okay, what happens in the front? Front inserts the data in anti-clockwise fashion and deletes the data in a clockwise fashion. Okay, I hope this is clear. If you didn't get it, no problem, we'll just see in the program and you will come to know what I meant to say. Okay, so again it would check if is full, but no, we have added only one element, it is not full, so this condition is false. Next it would check if front equals to -1, that is the initial condition, but no, we have added one, so we are not at the initial condition right now, so this if loop is false. Okay, it won't execute these statements, so it would go to the else if. It would check whether our rear equals to max -1, but no, our rear is pointing to where? 0. It is not max -1, that is 4, right? So then it would go to the else part and simply increment the rear, that is rear is equal to rear plus 1. So now the rear will point to 1, and after that 7 would get inserted at our first position. As you can see over here, 7 gets inserted and rear is pointing to first index. Okay, next is rear end 5, that is we are going to insert the 5 from our rear end. Okay, first again it will check is full condition, but this condition is false. It would check the front is equals to -1 condition, but this condition is also false. It would check if rear equals to max -1, but yes, this condition is also false. So it would simply increment our rear variable and insert the data. What is our data? Data is 5, so 5 would get inserted on the second index. So as you can see, 5 is inserted. So next is delete front end. Now we are going to delete the data using our front. Okay, that means 1 would get deleted after executing this function. So first in this function we are going to declare integer variable. After that we are going to check if is empty condition. So that means if our queue is empty, but no, queue is not empty, we have 3 elements in our queue, so this is false. After that it would simply delete our data, that is dq of front. What is dq of front? It is 0, right? So front is our 0, so 1 would get assigned to the variable item. That means 1 would get removed from our queue, and after that if front equals to rear, this condition is for our last element. Okay, when only one element is remaining in our queue, our front is equals to rear. Okay, that means both front and the rear are pointing to the same index at that time, this condition. Okay, but this condition is false over here. Okay, so we'll go for the else if front equals to max -1, but no, our front is 0, not max -1, right? So this condition is also false. In else part, front equals to front plus 1, so simply the front gets incremented after deleting the data, and data is what? Stored. Data is stored in the variable item, so that item variable is returned to our main function. Okay, and there it is displayed. So our front will get So our front would point to the first index and 1 will get deleted, okay, as you can see over here. So now again we are going to delete from the front end. So what happened, again we are going to create a variable called item. After that again we are going to check is empty condition, but no, this condition is false as we have 2 elements in our queue. After that the element gets deleted, that is it gets assigned to the variable item, okay. So 7 would get assigned to the variable item, and after that it would check if front equals to rare, but no, this condition is false, our front is pointing to 1. And after that it would go to the else part, there it would check front equals to max minus 1, no, this condition is also false. Then it would come to the else part and simply increment our front, that is front equals to front plus 1, and it would return the item, that is it would return our data to the main function. So 7 will get deleted and front is pointing to now second index. Now we are going to insert using our front end the data 5, okay. So first it will check is full condition, no, our queue is not full, so this condition is false. It would come to the second if and it would check whether front equals to minus 1, that is our initial condition, we have seen this earlier, right. So this condition is also false. After that it would come to the else if part and it will check if front equals to 0, but this condition is also false, okay, as our front is pointing to the second position. So simply it would decrement our front, okay. So front would point to the first index, and after that it would insert and the user inputted data, okay. Data is what? Item. So item is assigned to the DQ of front. DQ of front is what? Is 1, okay. So 1 DQ of 1, that is here. As you can see 5 is inserted. So next we want to insert front end 6, okay. We are going to insert from the front end the data 6. So first again we will check for the is full condition, but no, this is not full. It would come to the second if loop, it would check whether front equals to minus 1, but no, this condition is also false. Then it would come to the else if part, if front equals to 0, yes, now this condition is true, our front is pointing to what? 0, right. Then it would set our front is equal to max minus 1, that is front would point to now 4, okay. So what we are doing here, we are basically connecting the either of the ends of the queue, okay. We are just forming a circle or a loop, you can say. Then using DQ of front is equal to item, our data, user inputted data, gets inserted in DQ of front, that is on the 4th index 8 would get inserted. So next we are going to insert the 9 using our rare end, okay. So rare is pointing to what? Second position or the second index, okay. So first we'll check if is full condition, but no, our queue is not full, so this condition is false. Next it would check our initial condition if front equals to minus 1, but this condition is also false. Then it would simply go to the else part, it would check if rare equals to max minus 1, but this condition is also false because our rare is pointing to the second index. Then it would go to the else part and simply increment our rare pointer, okay. After incrementing our rare, rare would point to what? Third index, and the user inputted data which is stored in the variable item, it would get inserted at DQ of rare. As you can see 9 gets inserted and rare is pointing to the third index. Next is insert rare end 11. Now we are trying to insert from our rare end the data 11, okay. So let's see, you know our queue is full, but let's see how this function works. First it would go and check if is full condition, okay. If you remember our is full, in the OR part what was mentioned over there? Front equals to rare plus 1. If this condition exists, then our queue is full. What is front over here? 4. What is rare over here? 3. That means to which index they are pointing, okay. So rare is pointing to 3 and front is pointing to 4, okay. So what if rare plus 1? Rare plus 1 is 4, that is front. So front is equals to rear plus 1. This condition holds good. That means our queue is full. So here the statement would be executed, queue overflow. So next we are going to delete the data from our rear end. Okay, so rear is pointing to third index and the data is 9. So 9 would get deleted. Let's see how. So int item, first variable item is declared. After that it would check for the is empty condition, but this condition is false because our queue is full. Okay, so then it would simply delete the data, that is dq of rear. Dq of rear is what? Now 3. That is the data 9 would get assigned to the variable item. After that it would check if front equals to rear, but this condition is false. After that it would go to the else part. Here it would first check if rear equals to 0, but no, this condition is false. Our rear is pointing to third index. After that it would simply decrement our rear pointer. That means rear would point to second index, and that our item, which is the deleted data, is returned using this return keyword to our main function. As you can see, 9 is deleted and our rear is pointing to second index again. Now we are going to delete from our front end. As you can see, front is pointing to max minus 1. Okay, that is the fourth index. So let's see how front deletes, because these corner cases are so important. Okay, so just pay attention to this. So int item, first variable item is declared. After that is empty condition is checked. No, this condition is false. So it would simply delete the data, that is dq of front. What is dq of front? That is dq of 4. And what is present over dq of front? Dq of 4, it is 8. So 8 would get assigned to the variable item. After that it would check if front equals to rear, but no, this condition is false. There are many elements, not only one element. Okay, this condition is for our single element. Okay, so then it would go to the else part and it would check if front equals to max minus 1. Yes, now this condition is true. Front is pointing to max minus 1. Then it would set front equals to 0. Front would get, now front would point to 0th index, and the item, that is the data, is written to our main function. Deleted data is written to our main function. So I hope this is clear. As you can see, front is pointing to 0 and the 8 is deleted. So let's execute this code on our compiler and see how it works.